So Cain Clark and Caleb Vasquez, these are the two shooters that ended up taking their life after getting in a firefight with the security guard they killed at this San Diego mosque. Now, they killed two others, and my heart aches for the victims in this. It really does. Nobody deserves to die like this. Nobody. And I don't care if you're Muslim. I don't care if you're black, Jewish, white, whatever. You don't deserve to die at the hands of lunatics. We can have our disagreements and we can battle it out, a war of words, but people don't need to go using firearms to do this. Now, where the mainstream media gets stuck here is when you get to the facts of this case. The police chief refuses to name the suspects. First off, the mainstream media comes out and wants to declare that it's right-wing extremists, that it's radical racists that were behind this. Well, one of the shooters' name was Caleb Vasquez. That doesn't sound like a radical white right-wing extremist. Yet the police didn't want to name anybody here. This is a picture of the two with the chief of police refusing to say who was behind it.
What you will not hear from us today is the names of these two suspects. Today is about our victims and our community coming back together again.
All right. Look, I'm all about not naming suspects because you don't want to give them the credit. They're dead. The reason he didn't want to name them wasn't because he didn't want to give them the credit. He couldn't believe that one of them was named Caleb Vasquez. Then he calls them suspects. I don't like that. They're dead. They don't have to face a trial. You know what they did. You can say what they did. Nobody can come back and sue you for defamation. They took their own lives in the car. We know how this went down. Now, do I feel for the parents of these two shooters? Absolutely. But I will also say this. Where were you? And I don't say it lightly. But where were you when your kids were posting craziness like this online? What in the hell is that? That's one of the shooters. Cutting your wrists, I guess that's what that is, stabbing himself. Get your kids off TikTok. Yeah, Looney Tunes, that's what this guy is. 100% Looney Tunes. That was one of the shooters that allegedly posted that. You see the problem we have in society today. These shooters hated everyone, including themselves, by the way. You don't take your own life if you don't hate yourself. And I saw what was alleged to be the shooting of the shooters inside the car. They live streamed some of this, apparently. Brutal to watch. I'm not playing that for you. No Show Mama, really crazy stuff, man. You better believe it. It absolutely is. These people are Looney Tunes. And in a really horrible way, they're sick. And so you have to ask, where's the community? Where's the teachers? I doubt there were coaches involved with these kids. But bottom line is, where are the parents? Your kid posts that on TikTok? If my son Wyatt had posted that on TikTok, he'd be grounded for weeks. What in the fuck? Excuse me. What in the hell are you doing? I would sit him down and I would get up in his grill. Let's just put it that way. But I think the parents are absent, which is a problem today with society. So apparently, these shooters hated everyone. They had symbols on them that showed they hate everyone. And yet you get Tom Steyer come out. He's running for governor in California. Remember, this happened in San Diego. And he says this.
I don't want to start this without mentioning the tragedy in San Diego yesterday at the Islamic Center.
If you don't think we have a problem with our politicians today, I'm going to play you this guy and a man I believe to be a Republican, the mayor of San Diego, in a second, who was also a disgrace. Listen.
That is an example of hate in California, of violence. It's exactly the kind of things that we can't have in the Rainbow Coalition that is our amazing state.
Okay. You can call your state a Rainbow Coalition, whatever you want to do, Jesse Jackson. I'm okay up to here. He sounds like a Democrat. He sounds like, one of these pansy-ass Democrats. Fine. But it's when he compares these shooters to ICE agents that I have a real problem with.
And I want to make sure everybody knows that I will make sure we protect the people of this state against hate and violence, whether it comes from a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old, whether it comes from the ICE agents who want to racially profile and harm Californians, or whether it comes from Donald Trump himself.
You just compared the shooters to ICE agents and Donald Trump. You lousy mother scratcher. You may have billions of dollars. That ain't going to stop me from calling you a buffoon. Quite frankly, it's satanic. You have men who put a flag on their shoulder. You have President Trump who takes an oath to protect this country, and you're going to compare them to deranged animals that shoot up an Islamic Center? You may disagree with President Trump's policies, but he's not a mass shooter. But shooters have tried to take President Trump out, no regard for them. You want to compare these shooters to anybody, compare them to President Trump's assassins, animals, thugs, bruisers, violent loons.